The following question is related to ionic bonds, and the question states, what happens when sodium chloride melts? Now, sodium is in group 1. It's in group 1. It's a metal. Chlorine or chloride is in group 7. It's a non-metal. So when a metal and non-metal bond, they form an ionic bond. So I've drawn a sodium atom. Sodium has 11 electrons. So 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 in the second, and 1 in the last shell. And chlorine has 17 electrons in total. So 2 in the first, 8 in the second, and 7 in the last shell. So what's going to happen is that sodium only has one valence electron. So it's going to lose that one valence electron, and that electron would end up with chlorine. So there's going to be an extra electron with chlorine, and that would give chlorine a negative charge, whereas sodium would get a positive charge because it's going to lose that one electron. So let's remove this outer shell. This electron is now lost, and that electron is now with chlorine now. So chlorine gains an electron. So let's rub this now, and let's draw the final configuration. Sodium, because it's losing electrons, it's going to have a charge of 1+. Whereas chlorine, because it's gaining electrons, it's going to have a negative charge. It has one extra electron now. So it's going to have a charge of 1-. And there's going to be a strong electrostatic force of attraction between positive sodium ions and negative chloride ions. And they're going to form a giant ionic lattice where many different positive sodium ions and negative chloride ions are going to attract each other. So you can see a giant ionic lattice in which you have lots of positive ions being attracted by negative ions. And there's going to be strong force of attraction between oppositely charged ions. This sodium would be attracting this Cl ion. The positive ions would be attracting these negative ions, and so on. There would be lots of force of attraction. These would be called ionic bonds. So when you're melting a substance like NaCl, what you're going to do is you're going to give this chloride ion enough energy so that it's able to move around freely, and it's able to overcome the strong electrostatic force of attraction. So the correct option is going to be option C, that the electrostatic forces of attraction between ions are overcome when you melt a substance. So option C is going to be the correct option. When you melt a substance, you're going to give these ions enough heat so these ions would be able to freely slip and slide over each other. This sodium ion could move around, the Cl ion could move around as well. So you're going to overcome the strong force of attraction that are keeping the ions at a fixed position, and they would be able to, when they become energetic, they would be able to freely move around, slip and slide over each other, and change into liquid state.